Good morning, y'all. Good morning, y'all. I'm up early this morning. I came to check out these areas to make sure we don't have no suspicious unmarked vehicles around QT's quick trips. So y'all be careful out there, man. They're targeting suspicious vehicles, unmarked vehicles. They're targeting QTs in Fort Worth, Dallas, Arlington, surrounding areas. So I decided to get up early in the morning and come to the 2 by my house. There goes one right there. I just left from it. And the other thing I wanted to come and do, right, is to address these Poison Oak Police Department losers, because for some reason they like stopping people that are walking. I guess for them it's easy target. So they see people walking, right? And mind you, this is a busy little, well, it's not really busy, but this is the main road into River Oaks. So like literally allowed to walk on the side of the road, because as y'all can notice, there's no sidewalks provided. So what these losers do is they'll stop you and tell you have to identify and all this, and they say, I'm just asking, because you're on the road. Can you please stay on the sidewalk? It's crazy. So I woke up a little bit early for those two things. And the police station's over there. That's where I'm headed to. Their police department. The one where, was it ex-officer Meza, who got arrested for beating up an inmate in his custody. I went to try to file a complaint on him, for Sergeant Tovar pushing me, and I got arrested because that day, when I was filing the complaint, they were writing the arrest warrant, the affidavit and the arrest warrant. And I keep seeing videos of certain people posting them being harassed by these River Oaks cops for being on a bike, walking. So they end up lying on people. Yeah, and I was down there at the QT. There's another one this way, but it's kind of far. And I had asked some people to wake up early with me and go to, not with me like physically, but like in there and by themselves, to walk to or drive to QT's and stay there until like 9, because that's what these suspicious unmarked vehicles are targeting. Quick trips. Because early in the morning, a bunch of people go to Quick Trip to get ice, their drinks for the day and all that, coffee, food, breakfast food. So they're catching them when they're leaving. But it makes no sense that they're here in Texas, right? Because their whole reason for going to do it in Minnesota and all them, because they didn't want to give up their voter rolls. Well, Greg Abbott gave them up a long time ago. He gave up ours. So it makes no sense that they're out here doing all this. But I know one thing, they're going to drive the business of Quick Trip down by continuing to target people at their business, either there or leaving. Because they did it one time here off of, was it 28th and Dean Road? They arrested the father, and the son was a U.S. citizen. So the suspicious people called the police department because the son kept asking them questions like, what the fuck, what y'all got going on? And you know how they are, we don't answer questions, we don't have to type shit. So I think that time, because they literally had their business closed for like 4 hours dealing with the situation. So it's my assumption that from that time they told them they couldn't do it on their property no more. So that's why I'm assuming that they watch people there and pull them over when they leave. Like over here a couple days ago, the QT on Main Street and Northside Drive, they followed them from that Quick Trip all the way to going west down Northside Drive. And when they got to Jacksboro Highway, that's when they all jumped out and surrounded the core. And they're doing it early in the morning before everyone wakes up, before people are able to film, because only bad people come at night, like a thief in the night, to steal, kill, and destroy. But yeah, I'm gonna go see which cops, because the video I saw is a heavyset dude, and there was like one River Oaks cop and like 4 Fort Worth police officers. Because cops here will use people walking on a bike as a pretextual stop to see what else they can find. See if they have warrants, when they force them to ID, because they tell them, I stopped you, I have an interaction with you. The police department's over here. That's where I'm going. Ooh, one more block, people, and I will be at their police department. It's small, and they like to harass people they think are homeless, or they see them walking. River Oaks Boulevard. Certainly. Michigan. It's kind of cold too this morning, though. And then when I got arrested here, there was a person that worked with them who investigated the case and advised Vasar to dismiss it because they didn't have, they didn't believe that I broke the law. They believed that Tobar violated my rights. And that's something my attorney didn't tell me at the time. He told me they wanted me to plead guilty to one, and they would dismiss the rest. And see, that's what I'm saying. I used to listen to them. I used to believe what they said as truth until I started finding out paperwork that said otherwise. So that was the frustrating part. So they have a fire department, the city hall, and the police department in one building. And it's on Glenwick and River Oaks Boulevard. U.S. government would say. And this is where I came that day to file a police report. A complaint. And they arrested me when I went in here. Look at this. Y'all reading this one right here? So yeah. And this is their city hall over here. And that's a little ugly jail too. You wait there until you get transferred to Tarrant County. 4900. Uh-oh. So, it says no firearms. They got that on here too. That's an illegal sign right there. Ken Paxton already told people to stop putting that because the people who authorize them to put it are not telling them that they no longer can put it on their buildings, like City Hall, stuff like that, how they put up signs. Hmm. Old Poison Oaks. They have to do shift change in a little bit. So this is the River Oaks Police Department. Let me see what's up to everybody. Minton State Media, what's up? JC News, Yo. Cemetery. What is that? Can't. Man, I need some glasses. Cemetery. That's what it looks like. Joe Cock. What's up, baby? In Dearborn, Michigan. That's crazy. They use the flock cameras here too. Raymond, what's up? Barry, what's up? All right, all right. What's up, Steve? Ronald, Virginia. John D. No, I come to in the mornings to make sure that we don't have no suspicious unmarked vehicles targeting people who are leaving QT early in the morning. They've already done it twice over here, with the most recent one a couple days ago. And then I ended up coming to River Oaks because I've been watching videos being posted of people being harassed by them when they're walking down the street. So I decided to come walk, see what they talking about. So right here, I'm at the River Oaks Police Department. Because it's like 3 in 1. The fire station, the police department, and City Hall is right there. And they like and I know they're garbage because the Sergeant Tobar did not write the police report I was arrested for when I came to file a complaint here. It was written by the lieutenant that was here that morning because I was trying to file a complaint. So Tovar never filed a police report. He never anything, wrote a ticket. He didn't do anything. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on, people. And I want to see where the piggies are at. Because they bring people, like when I got arrested by them here, they took me out through the back over here on the side. Oh, they're in there. What is the Tarrant County Sheriff's car doing here? That's crazy. There's the sheriff's. Tarrant County Sheriff's car is right there. It's crazy. That's throat. I wonder what the Tarrant County Sheriff dude is doing back there. It's a little road, man. There's a Tarrant County Sheriff's 159-9523. 29, something like that. One of those. Huh. So there's just Tarrant County Sheriff's in there right now. So crazy. Wonder what this is doing over here. So, the supervisor. I'm telling where he went. He was out here a little while ago. He's probably down there somewhere. No telling. That is weird that there's a Tarrant County Sheriff back there. So, telling. That sheriff, I can't wrap my head around that. And they got another way they go in through the other side. Poison Oaks. Excuse me. So what y'all think, people? They hiding. They're probably at the QT over there. It's crazy though. Because there's another one that way, and the people from the army base, because there's a Carswell Air Force base is over there, and it's with the federal prisons over there too. It's inside of the army base. It's one of the worst places to be. They protested that place to where the warden of the prison said that they fired the other guy and hired him to deal with media and people who come over there and try to expose what they're doing. Yeah. And people wreck into it, you know. Because there used to be a bus stop here. The bus used to stop right here. Not no more though. River Oaks didn't pay the the tax to keep it going, so the last bus stop you're gonna get is over there at at um at the QT. You know, and where y'all see that light over there, way down there, that red light way down there, that's the last bus stop. And then the other one is when you get to Westward Village. Poor dirt farmer, what's up, baby? I just came back to this is where I got arrested by River Oaks for trying to file a complaint on Sergeant Tobar. And Mesa was the officer that came out and said that I had a warrant and this and that. But they literally filled out the affidavit to present to the magistrate all that morning that I was here. They arrested me and then filed it with the magistrate and then took me. So they did it backwards. Dumbasses. And it was crazy because the officer that night, Sergeant Tobar, that pushed me, never filled out a police report. It was the lieutenant here. Because it was me and Harvey. And that's when that tall white dude was the lieutenant and Meza came out. But ain't it crazy, though, how years later, that same officer, they ended up promoting him to sergeant. Mesa, the one who arrested me. They put him as sergeant, and then he got fired. You know, he got fired for beating up an inmate inside of here. They beat him up. He beat him up, and he got charged. That had in jail on a misdemeanor, and now they're charging $60 a day. Shit. Yep. And ain't that weird how they do it? Because here, look, all the cases that are here go to ours in Tarrant County. So they have a crooked system. Because even in my case, somebody that works in here watched the video and told them that they wish to dismiss it because they believe that I did not commit a crime. They believe that Sergeant Tobar violated my civil rights. And she worked in there. She wrote to the DA's office. And that wasn't either they didn't give it to my attorney or they did and my attorney was trash. Yeah. Yep. And meanwhile, these same jails are the ones that are crying that they're overcrowded and all this and that they need more funding, more money. Stop arresting people for ticketable offenses because they piss you off or they get on your nerves. Yeah. Poor dirt farmer, yep. It's a trip, though. And you find all this after the fact. They hide all this, they keep you in jail, and then after the fact. Just like in Fort Worth, right? We argued about a situation where they had caught a stolen Charger, a purple stolen Charger in the flock camera. So they started chasing it. They went down residential areas where the speed limit is 30, 40, and they were going over 100. And when they released the body cam footage recently, it had where and it happened on Rosedale and Evans. Way before he gets to Rosedale, he states over the radio, they're bailing. I lost sight of him. They're going west on the street. And he was too busy focused on the person and whether they were running that he didn't notice that his light was red and Mr. Craig was the person that was going eastbound on Rosedale. And that's when this officer ran and hit him, literally knocked him out of his car, and he was unalived on the scene. And the only thing that happened to the cop for violating police chase procedures, he was suspended for 15 days. And they charged the person that was running with Mr. Craig's unaliving, which is ridiculous. He had ample opportunity to slow down, stop, because he stated over the radio, he bailed. That means the car is no longer going. The suspects have ran. There was no immediate threat or anything for them to continue at high speeds going towards them. Because they even stated they paused their own body cam footage and tried to say that they threw the gun out of the window. The pew pew. So they're not armed. The car's disabled. It's no longer moving. They're running on foot. So the reason you decided to still be, and I believe he didn't look to the left. And that's where Mr. Craig was coming from. As soon as he passed it, he hit him. And the only thing that happened to that police officer, and I think I know who it is just by their voice, but I want to confirm who it is before I say their name. But I've dealt with that voice before numerous times. And they kept all that hidden, and that's what they do, right? Because they settled with the family. So now they put up they indicted the officer. The grand jury declined to prosecute. So then that's when they gave him 15-day suspension for violating their police chase procedures. And they refused to give it to anyone during this whole situation because that was the third case where they've chased someone. Look, there goes Fort Worth pigs. See him? And that's crazy. Yeah. and they released it to the news media, so I'm gonna request it too. Since they've already looked for it, accumulated it, and put everything on it, they can't charge you for something they already did. Just like the stuff they released to the media, all that stuff is free because they already did the work and someone else paid for it. So they don't have to do nothing. I think if it's on paper, you just pay for the papers that they copy everything on. Like video wise, they're not supposed to charge you. But I'm pretty sure they figure out ways how. But if they already accumulated the information you're requesting and all that, there's no need for them to charge any fee because they've already done it. That's what they charge you for, not what's public, because they can't charge you. But they can charge you for their services for compiling, looking for, and all that. So anyone making any money should put everything they own into a trust. There are hundreds of kinds of trusts and they don't pay taxes, just like a church. There goes one piggy, 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 piggy. Y'all see him, y'all? I'm still tripping about that Tarrant County Sheriff's cop being back there. Nah, they're not gonna fuck with nobody now. But yeah, that's what I was seeing. They would fuck with people walking down the street, which was uncool, uncool, uncool. Look at this guy's truck. We'll come and take it. And then that one up there. They're pro-gun, life, and God. Wow. Bless their heart. See, look, here comes the bus. But it doesn't stop here anymore. It's gonna go straight by. A shopping cart. It's always a weirdo. Brandon, what's up, homie? Somebody get pig liver, some glasses sent to him. A shopping cart. Where the fuck do you see a shopping cart, weirdo? I'll look what time, because I'm going to come and get information and videos from here too. So The fire department's different though, man. I don't have an issue with the fire department. They're the ones who actually run towards danger to save people, truly. So I think I've only got into it with one firefighter, and it wasn't for a long time either, because as soon as I seen what was happening and it was explained to me, I told him, like, I get it though, but you didn't have to yell like that, because he wanted to fight. So I said, well, what are you waiting for? I even handed my camera to Carolina because she was with me. But I don't know, his whole assumption is that I knew from the get-go what was happening, and I was like, that's not it, dude. So, but like, as far as firefighters, every time I show up and they're doing something, they don't ever like talk crazy to you or tell you this or get over there or nothing like that. They're too busy focused on saving people. They're actually for public safety in the actual terms of it. So that's why I don't ever talk crazy to them or nothing like that, because they're hyper focused on what their job is there to do. Now, are there some firefighters that don't need to be? Yes. It's not what I'm saying. But the average, they're not like that. They're not aggressive. They're not anything like that. It's always cops, because they have shitty supervisors that allow them to do shit like that. Like I'm always saying, in my neighborhood. And I even told our council member, Flores, and you know what he told me? That's why I think he's full of shit. Because when I told him what was happening, he goes, well, let him investigate and see what happens. Well, they did both times. And they investigated themselves and found no wrongdoing. So I already knew what was going to happen. I already know. Until they change people at internal affairs in Fort Worth, cops are going to get away with beating people up, lying on them and everything. Because for some weird reason, they would rather have their use of force policy that violates people's Fourth Amendment right and everything. And keep doing it, hoping no one sues them. Because every time they do, they pay out. But the policy doesn't change. The only thing they change, they modernize the way complaints are filed. So if that's not the biggest tell-all, is they would rather change the language and the punishment in filing complaints than addressing their officers. Because it's nothing new to them. Think in 2020 or 21 or 22, we paid $1 million for the same guy that's now gonna lead our civil rights enforcement unit in the police department. We paid him almost $1 million to tell us that the cops lie, they turn off body camera, and they help each other out because they're related, fucking, or married. So we already know that. But they didn't correct anything. And that's my point. Every time something happens that it reaches national news or it gets out there, they promise. That's how we ended with the race. We ended up with the Race and Culture Task Force. We ended up with what was the other one? There's like 3 different shit that they fucking that they've come up with to try to say that this is what's going to change. They're going to be better now. And it never does. That's why they all voted against a community oversight board, where members of the community were the ones that were going to be over the oversight board. The then chief of police, Noakes, said, no, I got a better idea. I'll create a crew of my people so we can continue to investigate ourselves and find no wrongdoing, because it's within policy. They never mention it's against the law. It's against policy, because here, no prosecutor is going to prosecute a cop for perjury, battery, uh, um, official oppression or none of that. There's 3 police officers right now with those charges. That one has been sentenced for, I think, going on 5 years now, and he hasn't been to court. He hasn't been to prison because he received a 5-year sentence, and he appealed his conviction. He's already sentenced. He's supposed to be in prison for 5 years for lying. He punched a guy that he was just released from Harris Hospital. He walked up to him. The guy asked to borrow someone's phone. Someone called on him, said he didn't belong there. They didn't know what was going on. So the cop grabs him, throws him, spins him around, punches him in the face. And in his own body camera, he tells him, I have to charge you. If not, I'm in trouble. So when the case was presented to the district attorney refused to prosecute the person that he punched and instead put charges on the police officer. He was found guilty. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison. He has not been in prison. And his appeal case keeps getting, who the fuck knows. Same thing with another officer. He has a continual SA of a child. Same shit. Hasn't been to court, nothing. So, that's the courts here. Prosecute people who piss them off, expose them with a waste of money, resources, and protect the ones that actually commit crimes against citizens. So, that's what I figured out doing this. And they fucking hate it. So, that's what I'm talking about. Because I had just got mine dismissed. And that's my point. A supervisor, right, got mad. And it wasn't that I wasn't walking away from what they were doing. It was the fact that I told them, shut up, bitch. I went to jail, got lied on. They muted their body cameras. They deactivated them. Because I told them, shut up, bitch. Which is weird to me because he literally pulled someone over down the street from my house. I went across the street on the other side of the sidewalk, opposite of where he was from, filming. He abandoned his traffic stop to come ask me what I was doing because I told him to shut up, leave me alone, mind your business. He asked me what I had in my hand. I told him my hand. He said, let me see. I showed it to him. I told him to get his bitch ass away from me. So then I investigated him. So what I found out is that he has untruthfulness, official oppression. And the thing that really bothered me was all this was after the fact that he went to a concert. This is Sergeant Christopher Ramirez. And you can look this up. You can Google it and it'll pop up. He went to a concert, told the people in VIP with his badge and his other that he was investigating drug activity going on back there to get access to the VIP. Remember, he's drunk and he's off duty. So he goes back there, he starts fucking with people. Mind you, he's not investigating shit. He's just drunk and can't afford to go VIP. So he used his badge to do it. He gets in an argument with people back there. They call the police on him. They arrest him. The then chief of police put him on the last chance program for dirty cops. And he ended up being a sergeant. And then I asked for his supervisor, and he told me no, that he was all I was going to get. So ain't it funny that magically his supervisor, Lieutenant Madrano, showed up. But he turned off his body camera while Sergeant Ramirez lied to him, and everyone else did too. And the thing about internal affairs, you file 2 complaints and they only investigate 1. And then when you try to file the other one, it's like, well, there's not enough time. I filed them at the same time. Oh, we didn't notice. And you always put the different police reports numbers. So them saying we didn't notice is bullshit. So that's what I mean. They're dirty. Because they know. Yep. True that, homie. And Raymond, they're not supposed to mute. They're not supposed to turn it off or nothing during an investigation because of what a Dallas police officer, Amber Geiger, did to Botham Jean. He was in his home eating a bowl of ice cream, watching TV. Amber Geiger walks into his home. She alleges that she thought it was her apartment. Why she thought that, I have no idea. She ended up shooting him, right? And he ended up passing away. So during that situation, she turned off her body camera and a bunch of other people muted it to help her lie about what happened. But it didn't work. So Botham Jean's family, with senators and lawmakers and legislators, introduced a bill that was passed that made it a 3rd-degree felony for any police officer to mute, deactivate, or not activate their body camera during an active investigation. But they had language in there that said may. The police department may create policies and guidelines to assist them. They were supposed to create policies about them having to turn it on when they're in the restroom or they were getting medical, whatever, like stuff like that, personal information of themselves. They turned it into, we will call it administrative mute, which means they're supposed to mute it because they're doing tactical stuff. Like, well, when I caught him over here, that's why when we came around the back, they can mute tactical operations, but they use it to mute when the supervisor's helping them lie. So they're not following policies, right? Because that's not how it was. They interpreted that because you get Fort Worth POAs, the Police Officers Association, and city attorneys. They try to bypass language. Yeah. See, I don't believe she went in there accidentally. I believe he was targeted by who he worked for. Yeah. Yep. They do. They charge ridiculous prices. Like when I asked for the emails for the prosecutors, the judges, the police chief, and all that, they charged me $2,000 something. I wasn't fixing to pay that, so I let it close. So dusty ass on, oh man. So yeah, people. I end up waking up early to come make sure. start doing it more. Because it seems like at night they harass more people than in the daytime. Yep. That's why I say, man, that as soon as we allowed the then president of the POA, which was Manny Ramirez, who now sits on the commissioner's court as one of the council members on commissioner's court. And him, Betsy Price, with our now city manager, Garcia, they all convinced people to vote for it, to give the punishment to the POA instead of the city. So that's why now when the city or the police department fires them, it gives them an opportunity to get an independent third party, one that knows nothing about the law, is paid by them to review it and then give them their job back after they've been fired for egregious actions while on duty or off duty. Which is crazy. So, people, y'all be vigilant out there, man. Stay protected. Wait. I want to find out why that sheriff was over there. What they doing over here in River Oaks? Better be doing a pickup. But they took me in a van to the county. Yeah, I have to check that PayPal thing. Woo. Oh shit. Woo. Woo. Whew. Look at all these weird ass vehicles start popping around. So come check it out. Whew. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Brandon, Oklahoma audits. Broken system, broken trust. What's up? Glad to have you. And whew, that was a long walk. And I'll get my scooter back up and running. Because the other day I was chasing the suspicious vehicles after they showed up over here. And I had to order the inner tube to my electric scooter because they don't have none here at Walmart by my house. So as soon as I get that inner tube, I'll be back up and running on my scooter. But I'm still going to come out until I get that inner tube and patrol the QTs and everything. And I just have to, I used to come out like at 8, 9 o'clock. Yeah, it is cold. It was in the 40s, 50s this morning, early. Right now it's probably in the 60s, 70s. So, yeah. Y'all stay on your toes out there, baby. I appreciate all the love and support. Damn, 35 in Oklahoma. I appreciate all the love and support y'all give me. And stay tuned. I'll go live in case anything else happens. But good morning, y'all. Have a blessed day. And pray for our people and our family who are going through illnesses. Just keep everybody safe and uplifted. Y'all be safe out there. Yeah. Cemetery, they're badass. Mine goes 30. There's some that go faster, but I'm scared of them. I already fell off the one I had. I could imagine going faster than 30, falling off. So, peace, everybody. Love.